If my mum has dementia, does that mean I will get it too?
Probably not, which is the good news. It's true that for a very small number of people, there are genetic causes that if you're unlucky enough to get a copy of a mutated gene from one of your parents, you will end up developing a dementia like Alzheimer's disease. Typically though, these are very rare, less than 1% of cases. So for most people, it's sort of a bit of a bolt out of the blue. The lifetime risk of someone who's 60 getting Alzheimer's disease is sort of somewhere between 15 to 20%, depending on gender. Flipping that around, really means there's sort of an 80% chance that you won't get Alzheimer's disease. It's actually a mystery why we get the disease. I mean, we don't really understand what is driving the dysfunction in the disease. We know that neurons die, we have some ideas about what's important and what drives it. And we've had a number of clinical trials now, drugs that have been developed and gone through the whole process into people to try and treat the disease. And unfortunately, they've been hugely unsuccessful. And so over the last 10 years, the field has really taken a broader look at what might be causing the disease, and that's the sort of research that I do. Is I'm very interested in to try to work out what exactly is it that's going wrong as we get older that makes our brain cells die. The brain cells that you're born with are the brain cells that you have throughout your whole life, so they're a really unique cell in our body in that they do get old. They're as old as we are. And the challenges of having to continue to function and work over decades and decades, I mean, I find it just a fascinating problem, to be perfectly honest. I'm really trying to build new tools to study the biochemistry that's occurring inside our brain cells so that we can get new insights. And I use an X-ray microscope, which is a relatively unconventional tool, to actually try and take pictures of the biochemistry of aging occurring in real time. So that we can actually look down the microscope and see what's going wrong. We're asking questions that we couldn't ask 10 years ago. And so we're learning things we didn't even know we didn't know. And that's the sort of research that I really love. We are pushing back the boundary. That's what's great about the Florey, is you cover that spectrum. It's really nice to be able to fly the flag for fundamental research and its importance. That's, I think, the only way that we're really going to be able to come up with a drug or a therapy that's going to intervene.
Every donation to the Florey is a step closer to finding the answer. Be part of the answer. Donate to the Florey today.